Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another Market Watch investments video for you guys tonight. Got a plethora of things that I'm going to be showcasing for you guys. These are going to be my personal selections, and I do hope that you enjoy. Getting things kickstarted tonight is going to be Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. These are the OG prints, donning as secret rares out of Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. This and Big Eye are my all-time favorite rank 7 XYZs. Really great artwork, high rarity secret rare, boss monster effect. Back in the day, this used to be like a 90, 100 bone plus card. Really great stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at some price points. Lightly Played Unlimited is going to be about 7.5 or 6.5 bones. And if you want a near min, it's going to be roughly around 7 bones. And there's no first editions here on the first page. Moving on to the second page, we get our first editions. There's a Lightly Played here for 16 bones, and the first near mint first edition is going to be 17 bones. So, interesting enough, this had a mirror reprint, Megaton reprint. I think it was 2014, I believe. So 2014 Megaton donned a mirror reprint. The secret rares are different. So they're both in the secret rare holofoiling, but you can see that the Megaton reprints a little bit thicker, a little bit more predominant in their scatter foiling of the secret holofoil, as opposed to it's a little bit more detailed and really more, I guess, indented in the original prints. So both secret rare, but the aesthetic reflect is relatively different. You can compare. These are actually very good photographs. Usually they don't have good photographs here on TCGP, but these tell the difference very well, so you guys can tell the difference. These are obviously significantly more affordable, and personally, because the original prints, I mean, they're going for 16 bones starting market price for the OG first editions. White Mexican theory is, if you can get about at least double of the reprint, same rarity, same edition, first edition secret rare, I would definitely recommend that, it would be the more tactical choice to go for the Megaton reprint personally. So let's go ahead and take a look at prices here. And these are like 4 bones. I mean, near mint first editions are 4 bones. The OG prints, original first editions are 16 starting market price. So this is significantly more affordable. I highly recommend that you guys pass on the OG prints and just go for the Megaton reprints. These still look very good. Yeah, they look great. I mean, they're both secret rares, and I mean, this is an amazing card, and you're still getting a first edition secret rare. So personally, this would be the print that I would personally go after. But it's completely up to you guys on that. I understand that the original prints are more difficult to get and rare and more valuable, but it's also more money out of your pocket. So completely up to you guys, player preference on that. Next is going to be the infamous Vampire Lord, darting out of Gen 1 Dark Crisis as a secret rare. Amazing stuff here. One of my all-time favorite old-school secret rares back in the day, Gen 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Secret rare was the ceiling. There was no ghost rares. There was no ultimate rares. There was no starlight rares. It was maxed out, capped out at capacity with secret rares, and there was only 2 different secret rares per booster set back in the day. So really great stuff here, amazing artwork, and there's just really great infamous history behind this card. This card actually used to be very difficult to get rid of back in the day, and it's just another really awesome dark zombie monster here. Old school Generation 1 secret rare. So Lightly Played Unlimited starting market price is going to be roughly around 2 bones. Near mints are going to be about 14 bones. There is no first editions on the first page here. There's 4 pages of availability here on TCGP, and there's no first editions on the second page either. The first editions are going to be on the third page. Lightly Played first edition starts out at a whopping 50 bones starting market price for the first editions Lightly Played. If you want a near mint first edition, these are probably going to be like 100 plus. These are going to be ridiculous. There is a single print, a single listing here for near mint first edition for 126 bones, which is a 2-stack from In-House Games. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, OG Vampire Lord has definitely reached a whole nother level in the collector's market. So, and rightfully so, a really amazing, gorgeous, aesthetically pleasing. Alternatively, if you guys want the battle pack, so of late I've been getting into collecting first edition exclusively star foil rares, star foil rares, and this is what Vampire Lord looks like from Battle Pack 1. Obviously, not as satisfying as the original Secret First Editions from Dark Crisis, but definitely a healthy alternative. I really, really, really enjoy the aesthetics of the Starfoils. Basically, an augmented version of DT at this personal opinion. So, these are really affordable. This is EA, it's a little bit more expensive. There's actually some pretty good stacks I've GP, so you guys can just pop over, change versions, and you guys can check out the Starfoils for yourselves. Next is going to be some of the Ghost Girls. So I'm not going to be covering Ash Blossom or Ghost Ogre specifically just because they're ridiculously expensive and they've always been some of the more popular hand trap Ghost Girls for sure. And they're not unattainable. They're just very pricey, and you know they'll continue to be because they're popular demand and just great artwork, high rarity, and just collectability and all that. But what Mexican theory is, so these are the Ghost Girls are a two-pronged attack. One for collector's investment value, being the original prints, getting up there in age, high rarity, secret rare, amazing, just like immaculate artwork is just unparalleled, and they cycle through. For the most part, they cycle through the meta, and you never really know which one's going to be used. I mean, ideally, pretty much the staples have stayed Ogre, Ash Blossom, and sometimes even Haunted Mansion is getting some play every now and then too. So you never really know. This personally, so excluding Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre, obviously those look fantastically amazing aesthetically, and really great playability behind that. Ghost Reaper is not as much playability, but the artwork is really, really fantastic. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries is actually my second favorite. Ghost Ogre is my first favorite Ghost Girl, and then the second slot goes to Ghost Reaper. Just completely amazing. Love the pink hair, the bloodshot eyes, the death scythe, and of course I think this is supposed to be cherry blossoms maybe. I'm not really sure, but really, really great artwork. So let's go ahead and take a look. There was a mirror, I think it was Mega Pack 2017, I believe, donned a mirror secret rare. But personally, this card is affordable enough that you want to go OG prints, first editions. It's not to say that the 2017 ones aren't gonna carry a certain amount of value to a certain extent, but these are just relatively affordable for the most part still. So for the longest time this was like 5.3 bones for lightly played first editions, and now it's seeing some pretty significant price increases here. So we're gonna check it out. Again, Near Mint Unlimited is not really much of anything. It's like 3 bones, but you have to go. This is definitely like half of the investment value behind this is for collectors, so you have to go first edition. So there's no first editions on the first 2 pages. First edition is lightly played for about 8 bones here, and then there is a Near Mint first edition for under 10 bones here. And there is 5+ pages of availability. Again, you can check stacks really quickly if you want to. You can switch over to 3 of just out of curiosity to see what kind of stacks are available. And the first 3 stack goes to about 13 bones, and you factor in a bone for shipping for Near Mint first editions. So completely up to you guys on that. Again, really, really amazing. I've always been a really big Advent believer, more specifically for the investment values for collectors for the Ghost Girls. But moving on, we have Flames of Destruction, OG print of Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. Again, definitely has seen an uptick in play within the game, and really great artwork, high rarity secret rare, and just part of the whole collectability package of the Ghost Girls. Near Mint Unlimited is going to be about 23 bones starting market price. There is 4 pages here, availability on the market. The first editions we're going to get is going to be lightly played first edition for 40 bones. So definitely a incredible price differentiation right there between unlimited and first edition prints. If you want a Near Mint first edition, the first market price is going to be 41 bones, which happens to be a 3 stack, so that's pretty luxurious. Next is going to be Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood out of Dark Neostorm, original secret rare prints. We got a uncensored artwork of it. It wasn't really a big deal. It was basically they took the headband and they switched it to like a nun hat, which is pretty cool, but really minute change there, so not really a big deal. And unfortunately, the Lost Art promotions are all in the disgusting, dreaded rarity of ultra rare, so it's not really much of anything. But moving on here, the original secret rare is very aesthetically pleasing, amazing. Unlimited's, a couple bones here, about 4 bones ish, and Moving on, about five plus pages here on the market. We're looking for first editions. First holiday plate is almost about 8 bones. A Phantom under 8 bones. And if you want a near mint first edition OG print, you're gonna have to take a little bit of a deeper dive here. 9 bones. 9 bones is the starting market price for this. There's a 15 stack right here for 9 bones, so this is incredible. Super Awesome Cards has a 15 stack near mint, which is very, very nice. Definitely recommend, if you guys can afford it, pick up in bulk for sure, because as time goes on, these get older, these get harder to get, harder to acquire, and they're just gonna go up in value exponentially. Ghost Motor and Moonlit Chill is going to be next. Eternity Code. And I love the name. Out of like all the names, it doesn't have the best artwork, but the name, I really love the name. The name is definitely, this is like the coolest Ghost Girl name, I think. Starting market price for this first edition near mint right off the bat is just a Phantom under 17 bones. And there's not really much stacks here. I mean, there's a 2 stacks here, and then there's an 11 stack here for, you know, a Phantom under 20 bones, about 18 half bones. 5 plus pages of availability on that. So personally, these are kind of at a price point where, you know, I wouldn't really want to be, you know, spending 15-20 bones a pop for these. I mostly trade for these, more specifically for Ghost Mourner. She's kind of been the one that I've been able to pick up the most. But if if people have them, original print first editions, I definitely highly recommend. Like, those are like hotcakes. You guys want to target those for trades first. Material Whip is going to be next. This is the Dual Terminal 2 version as a rare. This is just an awesome control card. I'm a huge anti-meta player. Sometimes I tech this in as 1 just to kind of mess around, and this card is just, it's really good. I think it's highly underrated. I mean, it's a generic control card. It's a Earth level 3 plant tuner. And again, this is just an amazing rarity of Dual Terminal. You guys know Dual Terminal is discontinued, so it's quickly finding its way, bleeding into the collector's market. There is the Hidden Arsenal super rares as well, which are a lot more affordable. So I mean, that's an alternative, healthier alternative if you guys want to go for something not as nice, but you know, it's also more affordable. Starting market price for this is going to be about 5 bones, and these are all pretty much 1 stacks. There's a 3/6 stack here, only 2 pages of availability. And honestly, for 5 bones for this card, that's relatively cheap. I mean, unfortunately, the ones that are the most affordable, they're not really, you know, you don't get to the fatter stacks towards the bottom of the page, which trickles up a little bit more. But this is a fantastic card. I really, really like this card a lot. Next is going to be Crackdown. So I have to admit, the original super rare first editions are pretty nice. The Mega Tin, or the 2010 Tin of Lost Memories, 2020 Tin of Lost Memories donned a prismatic secret rare reprint, and a lot of the 2019-2020 the tins, the prismatic, when they brought back the prismatic secret rare foiling into the card database, card producing market, they're really, really nice. And a lot of these reprinted prismatic secret rare nice looking cards are more affordable than a lot of their like crappy ultra counterparts from the booster packs. And this is just another, you know, example. I mean, obviously Crackdown was a super, which, you know, is fine, but these are just, I think these are really cheap for what they are. I mean, obviously they're not as cheap as when like the tins first dropped. You know, these are going on about, you know, almost a year old now or so, but these look really, really nice. And I feel like people forget this is still like a very good control card, just a generic control card, basically water down, snatch and steal. You jack your opponent's monster, so it's pretty great stuff. First edition near mints, here's a 2 stack. It's going to be about 3 bones before you factor in shipping, and it's pretty much, yeah, it's 3-4 bones pretty much all across the board. The majority of these are unfortunately 1 stacks, which is interesting, but 5 plus pages of availability on Crackdown. Battles of Legends is going to be next. So Battles of Legends Light's Revenge was the very first Battles of Legends that we ever got. You know, by now I think we have four different Battles of Legends, so there's been, you know, about 1 every year since this dropped for the most part. So a very popular reprint set with a lot of, you know, spicy cards. But this was kind of like the Gen 1. This was the first one to kind of start it all for the Battles of Legends series for us. And this is also historically a transition set, because this was the first set that Konami produced here in the TCG that had the updated foiling for the cards, like the the level stars and the attribute for the monsters, and the magic or the trap attribute in the top right corners, they all got updated to be included in the holofoil of the card, where it used to just be the name and the actual artwork of the picture of the card. So that was really cool. Amazing transition history on this set. And there's some pretty interesting price points. I mean, Minerva, I think this is still really cheap. I mean, this has gone up this is double fold already over of the last several years, but this is like a ridiculously amazing card. It's got amazing artwork. Light Sworns is a fan favorite deck. I personally really love Light Sworns myself. Really splashable, blendable. Engine is can be mixed in with a lot of stuff, and just a really great graveyard light eccentric deck. Galaxy Soldier, of course, has multiple prints, but this with galaxies, photon/galaxies, they got support on one of the more recent sets, so it's kind of an uptick in playability in that deck. And of course, Cyber Dragon Infinity. This is a perfect combo piece for Cyber Dragon Infinity for all those wild Cyber Dragon players. There's a couple secret versions of Sage with Eyes of Blue, Blue Eyes players, and then the Timid Dino players over here. Really nice alternative version of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This was one of the most infamous synchro cards of all time. Really, really great stuff here. And just in general, really across the board, these are like 3-4 bones. Like even for like some of the ultra stuff. One thing I noticed was like 4 Strix and Into the Void. I personally have several of these, and I've been selling them because they're just I have no need for them, and they're a couple bones here and there, and that's kind of like my personal target market. I usually don't sell anything on here on TCGP unless it's like around like 3, 4, or 5 bones. It's kind of like the minimum I go for. So. Really good time to sell these, I think, personally. Denko Sekka is a really amazing card, too. This is the highest rarity that we have. Obviously, there's 2 other ultra rare reprints. And, I just personally like this. Secret Rare is really, really nice. And, it's going for, like, between 3 and 5, which still is a lot more than it used to be. It used to be, like, around 2 bones. But it's a really good card. It's got really good artwork. It's an amazing Floodgate card for the most part. And I think it's just a highly underrated card. So this is, you might want to check through your stuff, if you were like me and you invested very heavily in this set, because this was like a highly anticipated set. There's some pretty good value for selling, personally. Next is going to be Warrior of Atlantis. This is specifically the original Ultimate Rare print out of Force of the Breaker. I personally only have a few of these Ultimate First Editions. I think they look really, really cool. A basic pitch and search card here for Legendary Ocean. It's just an old school Ultimate Rare. I really have a thing for water decks. Water is one of my... Water, Light, and Dark are my favorite attributes. So really cool stuff on that. It's kind of doing like a... going back in time here. Unlimited lightly played Smarty market price is going to be about 6 bones. If you want a near mint unlimited, it's going to be 8 bones. There's a 2 stack here. Lightly played first editions are going to be about 11 bones, and then the first near mint is going to be 13 bones, which actually happens to be a 2 stack. There is only 2 pages of availability on this. Next is going to be the original Legendary Ocean out of Legacy of Darkness, part of 13 core original Generation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh sets. And this has the actual Magic stamp here because, again, Gen 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Before the whole changing over from Magic to Spell history. And I'm really, really into that a lot. I love that whole history of the game and how, like, the original cards have met the Magic stamps. That's, like, high collectability purposes for me personally. And let's see, let's see if we can find some first editions here. Looks like there's one first edition here, and again, this card's really affordable, so you're gonna want to go for the stacks. Like, this is probably gonna be the most affordable stack. It's about half bone roughly for lightly paid first editions, and there's a 7 stack. So really quickly, I'm gonna switch these over to stacks so we can kind of get a better bulk estimate here. So yeah, about 38 cents for a 7 stack lightly played. And then if we move to page 2 here, there is a 4 stack here from the Card Haven for about half bones. So you guys can kind of figure that out. Obviously, you're going to want to go in bulk for that because it's an affordable card. Obviously, not really much of a used card anymore. Just the sheer fact that it's Gen 1, has the Magic stamp. Obviously, go for first edition. And this is, just an old school water support deck. So really cool nostalgic history on that. And then, of course, we have the legendary OG Umi out of Gen 1 Set 1 LOB. Of course, it has the Magic stamp here, and just again, I mean, this is only a lowly common, but I mean, as we all know, the majority of stuff for Gen 1, even, more so for Gen 1 Set 1 LLB stuff, for the first editions exclusively, are just going for, like, some pretty wild prices. So, just out of curiosity, I'm going to switch over here to stacks to kind of see if there's even first editions available. Again, this isn't a very good card, but this was a huge card in the anime. There's a lot of, like, Generation 1 nostalgia behind this card, and just it's personally a collectibles card in my personal opinion, or definitely well on its way to be. There's only one single stack here, and it's about 3 bones for lightly played first edition. So again, Gen 1 Set 1 nostalgia for you guys. There's just the quantities are just going to continue to dwindle down here on the market. Next is going to be Levia Dragon. This is the original OG print out of Invasion of Chaos, one of my all-time favorite Gen 1 core sets. This was the set Cookie Cutter Chaos era, talking about Chaos Emperor Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, all that great stuff. And this has really cool artwork. And another just, classic water card. Lightly played unlimiteds are going to be roughly around about 5-ish bones after you factor in shipping. Near mints are going to be around 6 bones, but you guys don't want to worry about that uselessness. You want to go for the first editions. Lightly played is going to be 19 bones. Lightly played first editions is 19 bones. This happens to be a 3-stack, so that's pretty luxurious. And then the first edition near mints is going to be, just a phantom under 30 bones. So that's for the OG print. Personally, I do like the secret rare reprints better. I definitely have, a vested interest in the original Ultra Force, being that, this is one of my favorite Gen 1 sets and being very, very old. But Legendary Collection 3 is my all-time favorite Legendary Collection set of all time. This with Legendary Collection 4 and Legendary Collection Kaiba just have some completely amazing cards and some unparalleled rarities. Definitely check them out. Nothing but praise for those sets. And personally, this one's a lot more affordable too. I think it looks better and it's a lot more affordable. Obviously, it's newer, but it's a higher rarity and it just looks more aesthetically pleasing personally for me. And again, I'm just super biased towards this set. All of pretty much the holofoils are collector's value in this set for the most part for me. So lightly played unlimiteds are going to be about 3 bones when you factor in shipping. Roughly around the same thing for the first near mints. The first edition lightly played is going to be roughly around a little bit over 5 bones, and then there is only 3 pages of availability for the secret version. Next is going to be Ocean Dragon Lord. So this still to the day, somehow, someway, is a solo print ultra rare from Structure Deck Fury from the Deep. So I don't know how. I guess this got in errata or something like that. I guess this is the new corrected text, and there's an errata, and obviously it got watered down a little bit, but really cool artwork. This kind of reminds me if you guys ever played Pokemon when you were a little kid. Is it Gyarados, the Gyarados dragon, or whatever was the water dragon, that Gen 1 water dragon? Kind of reminds me of Gyarados a little bit. Gyarados, I'm probably not pronouncing that name right, but I don't even know how to speak English appropriately, so no surprise. Anyway, lightly played first editions is going to be, about a bone when you factor in shipping. Near mint, it's going to be the same, and there's plenty of availability here. I do want to check the stacks because, again, this is a very affordable card, and obviously you're going to want to go for stacks. The first edition stacks is actually going to be a 32 stack from the Card Haven for about 4 bones before you factor in shipping a piece. So, again, the biggest thing is this has really cool artwork. It's from a really old, really cool structure deck, which is actually going for some insane money. I have some eBay tabs I'm going to get into later on in the video, which reflects some pretty interesting price points for the original sealed first edition Structure Deck Fury from the Deep. But again, it's a solo print, and it's got really badass artwork, so that's got that going for it. Next is going to be Abyss Soldier from Dual Terminal 6. Really like this card a lot. I've always wanted to detect this in at least at 1 in my Mermail Atlantean. I love Mermail Atlanteans. It's definitely my favorite water deck. And this is I think this is a really cool card. I love the artwork. I love how it's DT, and it's got a really cool effect. So let's go ahead and look at some prices. There's a 3-stack here for 6 bones. That's pretty cool that right off the bat there's a 3-stack, or maybe, well, there's actually only 1 page, so definitely dwindling. It starts at 6 bones, and then it bottoms out at 25. So really incredible stuff for Abyss Soldier DT. Next is going to be Tribe Infecting Virus, a super rare out of Magician's Force. This is one of my all-time favorite. I have so many all-time favorites. I say that in like every video, but like I can't help it. Like I have a huge passion for Gen 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magician's Force was no stranger to that. You know, this is a really great super rare. The artwork is just completely unparalleled. I love the artwork in this, and I love old school first edition super rares, and just, you know, first edition holos in general. So unlimited, lightly played, and again, like kind of some history, man. This was like on the ban list for so long. Like this was another really infamous card. Cookie cutter chaos format back in the day, like long time ago, was a format that I played when I was a kid, when I initially started playing, and it was this was, I don't remember how many we used. I think it was maybe just one, but this was a really big card, and it was actually the format that got this card banned, if I'm remembering correctly. But it was on the ban list forever, and it just came off the list like maybe like a year, maybe like 2 years ago, not that long ago. So I was really excited about that. Anyway, lightly played, unlimited. It's going to be 9 bones starting market price for lightly played. Near mint, it's going to be about 12 bones, but you guys don't want to worry about that because they're not first edition. This is definitely more so a collector's card at this point. And if you want the first edition here, was that really like the first editions are 30 bones? That is some really incredible. I'm surprised myself here, my own content. Let's see here. Okay, so the first edition lightly played are almost, you know, 36 bones. Interesting. I'm really curious what the near mints are going for. And then for first edition near mint, there's a single copy here, single listing for over 100 bones after you factor in shipping. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Tribe Infecting Virus first editions. I hope you guys held on to your first editions. I know I did. Moray of Greed is going to be next. So this has several common prints. This is the highest rare as a super rare out of Astral Pack 1. Really love the artwork on this. Obviously, we got the whole Pot of Greed character here in this like sinister looking Sakana. And I personally run this in as a 3-stack in my Murmur Atlantean. I really love the draw power behind this, great recycle factor. And the starting market price for this, slightly played, is going to be about 8 plus bones, and then it jumps to 10 plus a bone shipping. There's a 3-stack here, and there's 3 pages availability. So this is definitely seeing a pretty good influx in value, and, you know, rightfully so. This is a tournament. I can't really say tournament pack, but, you know, like an astral pack. An astral pack, I guess, would be the appropriate terminology. An astral pack, super rare, hollow foil, you know, from your local tournament store, and it's relatively old. It's Astral Pack 1, so really great stuff behind that. Next is going to be Salvage, specifically the highest rarity as a super rare out of Legendary Collection 3. Again, another infamous card out of this infamous set, and this is just like another recycle card. You know, super rare hollow foil, pretty cool artwork too. I mean, the whale looks kind of lazy, but, you know, we'll overlook that. Lightly played, unlimited, starting market price is going to be around 4 bones after you factor in shipping. First edition lightly played is going to be about 5 bones. Unfortunately, these are 1-stacks. All of these are 1-stacks, but there's 5 pages of availability here. So, let's just switch over really quick to 3-stacks. I'm just curious. So there's actually a single stack of 5 for first editions, and unfortunately has this really unfortunate shipping tacked on, but it's roughly about 8 bones. So definitely some influx in price for Salvage. Alright, so as I said before, really quick, so just doing a quick eBay skim search. Structure deck, Realm of the Sea Emperor first edition, lowest to highest. So this is going for pretty good money. I mean, this is on, well, I guess this is, I don't know if there's like shipping for this. The 31 bones sounds extremely affordable. Okay, so it's 36 bones. But these are apparently first edition sealed copies. You can check the photos here. Again, White Mexican Theory, I'm a giant advocate for investing in sealed first edition structure decks. Over time in general, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, you want to go for the more popular ones or things that you just personally just kind of have a feel for that you think are just going to be fan favorites and go up in general. Like me personally, like my favorite structure deck of all time is Gates of the Underworld. I love Dark Worlds. I'm a huge Dark World fan, and I only have one single sealed first edition version of that structure deck, and I cherish it a lot. It's my favorite. Some other things I've invested in, it was Soulburner. I think I got 2 or 3 cases of first edition Soulburner. And then I also invested in Shaddoll Showdown. I'm a huge Shaddoll fanboy. I love Shaddolls, and when Shaddoll Showdown premiered, I went to like every Walmart and Target in El Paso, Texas, and I was trying to like scoop them all up last minute because unfortunately I slept on them, and I didn't. Normally I pre-order them on usually the eBay platform, and you can actually get them more affordable, like cheaper than the standard 10 bone per deck box that way, and you just hold on to them. You just sit, you just wait, and their value increases. They get older, they get out of production, and you just can't find them anymore. And same thing with this stuff. This is just a really cool old school water structure deck, and it's very old now, and bam, it's 36 bones, and it goes to 50. Then there's all these other crazy things here. So really good stuff on that. Next is going to be structure deck Fury from the Deep first edition. Again, so it's the same thing, just a quick eBay platform search, sealed first editions, and then lowest to highest. This isn't gospel. You guys can definitely use other platforms. This is just kind of easy for video purposes to show you guys. This one's on bid, so I never do bid stuff. I always do buy it now, so it's kind of not really an accurate price for the most part. This sounds a little bit more accurate. It looks like this one's a buy it now, and it's about 43 bones, but it's actually $8 shipping, so it's actually going to go to 50 plus after you factor that in. So again, the main boss card here is a solo print. You can get it, and really, really, really cool artwork. The thing just looks sinister. And stuff. So there's exponential growth. I really, really feel that it is some pretty sound investments when you go, and the ideal time is to pre-order, and buy cases and just hold them sealed, first edition cases, because these things, it takes years. These are long haul investments. It's not going to happen overnight, but in the long term, if you guys are patient enough, you're going to get some exponential value. Next is going to be Mobius the Frost Monarch. This is the highest rarity as the ultimate rare out of Soul of the Duelist. Really great, infamous Generation 1 set. And these, like pretty much all of the original ultimate rare Monarchs are like really good money. I mean, starting market price for even unlimited lightly played is 30 bones off the bat. The first near mint copy unlimited is 50. There is 4 pages of availability here. Lightly played first edition is going to be about 50 bones, and then if you want a near mint first edition, that is going to be like ungodly. Let's see if we can find one here. First near mint first edition is just a phantom under 100 bones, 95 here, which is a 2-stack. So really, really great value on that. Next is going to be English Thestalos, however you pronounce this. As, of course, ultimate rare again out of this one's out of Rise of Destiny. And first edition lightly played, starting market price is 50 bones. There's a 2-stack here. If you want a first edition, so interesting enough. So one thing. So I'm sorry, I'm going to go kind of on a tangent here. So one thing that's really unique about this set, Rise of Destiny, so my white Mexican theory is for Generation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! I consider the Generation 1 in my personal book the first 13 core sets of the game, of the core booster sets, LOB through RDS. And also another reason was because 13 is my favorite number, and Rise of Destiny was the 13th set, so that's why I kind of make the cutoff at RDS. Also, this was the last set that had Yami Yugi on the case of the packaging of the booster packs as well. So that is another indicator of signifying the end of Generation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! For me personally. But Rise of Destiny, the special editions, and I don't believe there was any other set, I think this was the only set that the special edition versions of Rise of Destiny, all the booster packs had first edition booster pack prints. There is no such thing as a unlimited, to the best of my ability. I mean, I've never personally seen one, and I actually own one personally. I have one sealed, first edition, sealed, special edition box case of Rise of Destiny. So really, really cool factor on that, and I think that's definitely why there's an influx of, you don't see an unlimited. I don't even know if, I mean, no, obviously they didn't, because the special editions would be the unlimited counterparts or the reprints of the set, but the booster packs were all first edition for the special edition of this product, of RDS. So you just don't, there is no unlimited, which is really crazy. I believe that happened with another set later on too. I don't remember if it was like Star Strike Blast, I think it was. I can't remember, but another like pretty, main core set, but it was kind of obscure because the printing was kind of jacked up, or the distribution or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, this card is, again, I'm apology, I'm going on a rant here, but it's 50 bones for lightly played, and then for near mint, it's going to be, 75 plus bones. So really, really great stuff on that. Next is going to be Rita, the Storm Monarch from Force of the Breaker, an infamous ultimate rare. And starting market price for this is... Okay, this is apparently some kind of signed one. Anyway, lightly played unlimited is going to be 36 bones. Near mint is going to be 45 bones. There's 3 pages here on the market, and the first edition is going to be lightly played for 65 bones, and then near mint first edition is going to be 94 bones, which surprisingly is an 11 stack, which is pretty impressive. Next is going to be Gramarg, the Rock Monarch, Flaming Eternity, of course, ultimate rare. Starting market price for this is going to be 40 bones for lightly played, 45 for near mint. The first edition here is a lightly played for 55. First near mint first edition is going to be 100 bones. That's only one ability for that. Next is going to be the infamous Caius, the Shadow Monarch. This is going to be the Turbo Pack Booster 3 Ultimate Rares. Really, really great stuff. This is the most popular one. I think it's safe to say, with all its alchemy-based artwork and crazy shenanigans. Really great stuff. Unfortunately, there obviously being from a turbo pack, there is no first edition print, so that kind of bothers me a little bit. But this is the only ultimate rare version that we have, so I mean, it is what it is. There's a Spanish one here for 62, which is lightly played. Near mint first English is near mint, which is 150 bones, which is actually a 3 stack. And then there's just really not a lot of availability. 1 page, and then the fattest stack is a 3 stack, and then there's some ridiculous PSA stuff, if you guys are into that. So one thing I do want to mention about Caius, though, is the original prints. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not a big Monarch player, but if I have my history correct, the original prints were actually first edition ultras out of the structure deck here. Structure deck, the Dark Emperor. So if we're looking through here, obviously the Ultimate is the most desirable, highest rarity and all that, but this one being the original print, specifically for the first editions, these are still very, very affordable for lightly playeds and even probably some near mints here. I would definitely recommend you guys check out copying and stacking up on some first editions exclusively of the OG Ultras. Normally I don't go for Ultras. I think they're disgusting, but this is a very infamous card. Definitely a lot of fanboy player interest in this card. And this is insanely old structure deck, and there's some pretty fanatic Monarch players out there, so I definitely could see the OG for the first editions exclusively going up for a collector's value. Also, alternatively, Battle Pack Epic Dawn donned a Starfoil rare of this as well, which seems to be relatively, affordable, and there's 28 listens to this, so I would definitely recommend you guys cop a couple copies of that. The first edition Ultras OGs and then the Starfoils OGs, but for first edition, on both of these, you have to go first edition for the Ultras and the Starfoils exclusively, are definitely some more affordable, healthy alternatives. There also is the Gold Series 2009. So Gold Series 2008, 2009 actually did gold right. It's just like a tint of gold. It looks really, really nice. But honestly, personally, if you're not going to drop the big bones for the Ultimates, I would definitely get the original first OG prints, Ultras, and the Starfoils. Adia, the Heavenly Squire, is going to be next. So one thing I wanted to point out about this card is it's a solo print. The only way you can get this card is this super rare card is from Structure Deck Emperor of the Darkness, which again, a fan favorite structure deck, definitely going for some really great value for the sealed first edition structure decks. Definitely a collector's item, and this is a solo print. This is this is a really popular card. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Monarch players. Again, I don't pilot the deck. I'm not personally well vested in the deck, but I know there's a big player base out there, and they definitely run this card, as far as I'm concerned. And this is still, relatively cheap for being old, being a solo print, being a super rare. The unlimiteds are a couple bones here. First edition near mint here. The first edition near mint is about 3 bones after you factor in shipping. It is just a 1 stack. There is only 2 pages of availability here on the market. There is a 4 stack here for 5 bones for near mint first edition, but so it's quickly dwindling. So, and I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it is a solo print, and pretty sure you need this card, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so the last thing I want to showcase for you guys tonight is going to be a quick eBay engine search for the Dark Emperor structure decks, first editions exclusively, just to kind of show you guys how much, this is definitely one of the more popular structure decks, and with that popularity and great playability behind this deck, there is some great collector's value. I mean, apparently this fourth, the most affordable one is 45 bones for a first edition near mint, first edition sealed. Apologies. First edition sealed here is 45, and then trickles up to 40, and then it kind of trickles up after that, and then there's really just not that many available, because again, this is just an insanely old product. So again, just kind of prove that I'm telling you guys, getting on sealed structure decks. Personally, I don't much invest in sealed products. I'm more of a singles investor personally myself, but structure decks is the exception that I personally make. Link below is going to be to my Facebook. I would love for each and any of you guys to message me, add me. I'd love to talk to any of you guys about anything Yu-Gi-Oh related. Yu-Gi-Oh has been a great passion of mine. I've been well invested in this game for, my goodness, probably about 2 decades, and I feel very compassionately about it. I love the deck building, the creativity, the diversity, the friendship, the brotherhood, the investments. There's a lot of great things that go into the hobby. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are enjoying this content as much as I am creating it for you. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by the White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.